Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome into AVC round number 7. We're here at the sunny Zandvoort circuit in the Netherlands, home to everyone's favourite IRL driver, Max Verstappen. As we are now just getting into qualifying here, so just before drivers start getting out onto the grid, I'm going to bring on last week's results for you, and here they are. Let's make that a little bit bigger for everyone to see. So last week, Alex Lamas led from start to finish to win last week, and Iago made it a double podium for Valaris. And we've got Leon for WRL second, then Banik, Gabza, Revrov, Mulder, Tino, Pascal, Gladdy, Callum, Wessel, Pucker, Raza, David, and then the only two people not to finish with Robin and Julian. And why, Morgan, are you asking for DMs right now? What the heck? That's why you're asking for DMs. Okay. Anyway, so I'll just quickly bring on some drivers' points for you as well before people go out. And here you are. So Ryan Bannock is now at the top by a good 19 points ahead of Pascal Gill. But unfortunately, Bannock is not racing today. The only other person that's inside the top 10 that is racing today, racing in the top 10 today, is Sam Lewis. Alert has thrown him back in today. But anyway, it's got Bannock at the top, then Pascal, then Cole for Alert, then Pablo Ortiz, then Ivan Rack, and then D'Amico, Zozo, Alex Lamas after his win last week, and Paul, and Sam Lewis, the last person in the top 10. And then what everyone else is probably waiting for is the points. So here you go then, Valaris have a big points lead of 115 points. I have somewhat calculated this correctly, and if Valaris basically takes every single point today and the next team behind him, which being QDR, does not score enough, then that will be job done for Valaris. They take top spot with 3 races to go, which I'm highly expecting. They've been very dominant all season. And then obviously last week, Alert didn't race because of a double race ban. Formula Academy France's quit. X77 closed weeks ago. And so we'll quickly go through these. So Valaris, then it's QDR with 120 points. Then it's Alien with 143 points behind. Then FST, All Elite Racing Team, WRL, then IRT, then Helidad Racing, and then VMV, and then at the bottom there, Titan Esports. Well, they're technically not at the bottom because if you just make it a bit smaller, there you go. And Vision are at the bottom. They pulled out after one race. What a bunch of mean asses. Anyway, so moving on. So obviously, one of the Mercedes has retired from the session because they still have a quali ban to serve, courtesy of hitting 21 penalty points. So they had a double race ban due to penalty points required and a quali ban which they are serving. So Peros is serving those, and Alert's rising star here, Sam Lewis, is doing quali. But who is actually on a lap? I should probably get. Oh, there we go. That answers that question. Gio Baron was on a lap, and I have also just realised I've not got my track map out. I need to get my clipboard out. Yeah, I have a little folder for all the track maps, so I need to quickly just find the Zandvoort one. So just bear with me 2 minutes. Oh, there it is. Well, that wasn't long. That didn't take long to find the Zandvoort. So Zandvoort, then 14 corners at this magnificent track. I should probably get a track map on screen as well, to be fair. There you go. There's my track map. That is sorted for me. Yeah, I'm a bit of a mess today. That's only due to because my PC had to be sent back to the shop because I had to get repaired again because I made a little whoopsie on it. But yeah, it's all good and dandy. So let me just quickly get something up on the screen. There we are. Right, 1 second. There it is. Have it looping. There we go then. 1 Zandvoort track for you all. The 2.646 mile long track with 14 turns and 2 active aero zones. You got the one down the main straight from 14 down to turn 1, and then you got it from turn 10 to 11. Only 14 corners around this magnificent track. It is mostly right turns with like about 4 lefts. So, but obviously now I'll get this off the screen and we can enjoy qualifying, as I need to find out who is going quickest, as looks like Polymaki is going fastest with a 1:9.2. As we got we have one of the Titan drivers doing the old Inters pole, which nobody seems to give a crap about. So Titan just getting some free points there, just riding on with one of Titan's newest drivers that they picked up from the closed next level generation of Saroshi. So we'll see what he does. He's coming out the last couple of corners now. Currently P16 on the grid, doing a 10.444. Out the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be for the McLaren? It's a big improvement, but it's still only in the 10s to start with. And I've only just noticed this. Valeris Christoph has done a 1:10 exactly. It's rare to see those. It is rare to see those. But it can't be as rare as the time as I saw it happen not once, but twice. This was 2 years ago in the 24 game when I was doing comms for competitive team championship. Like I said, not once it happened, but twice. In Q1 it happened, and in Q2 it happened. But the weirdest thing I've ever seen was 2 drivers setting the exact same time in every single session. That happened on... Was it last year? No, that was also on 24. In every single session, I forgot what track it was, but 2 drivers set the exact same time in the same session, which is very, very, very fun. I even had one time had 3 drivers set the exact same lap time. That was even funnier. But anyway, alright. We got Chris Chi here on the lap. I'm getting several pings on my phone. What? Oh. Yeah, I don't know why I was getting several pings there. Anyway, so we got a random board here with Sam Lewis, who's done like 3 laps on these soft tyres, by the way. Why is he doing like 3 laps on these soft tyres? Are we going back in the pits then, Sam, here? I would assume so. So we've got Finn Frederick. What is this? Finn Friedrich? Am I saying that right? Friedrich? Yeah, Sam's not on the lap. We got Gio Baron on the lap. We got Nick out. We got Callum also out on track. Poco also out. Christoph. Christoph. Nah, we just got them, Chris. We got Lewis. We got Morgan Lewis on the lap. We got Gabs are finally joining the session after running a little bit late. Right. Got right on board here with Finn then. Finn here then taking us on around this lovely track as he's going through this lovely S section, now coming around to turn 7. Foot to the floor. There is a slow Ferrari up ahead of him though. Coming around to turn 8. Obviously and turn 9, but obviously with turn 9 you don't want to get too wide on entry, because if you do you'll get caught by the sausage curb and get yeeted out to the wall. So drivers will have to watch out for that in the main race. So Finn is half a tenth down, but he's coming to a bit of traffic here with the Red Bull, the VCARB starter lap A few people starting laps here, so we're going to have a little bit of traffic. But he's still going on this lap, around the last corner. How much of an improvement will it be for Finn up the line? Nope, he's actually a 10th down in the end. Raphael, he's improved up to P2. We got Gio Barone back to have his lap. Nick has had a bit of an issue somewhere. He's missing half of his wing. Yeah, he's missing both. Oh, he's missing all the end plate. Okay, so Nick's hit somebody or hit something. Callum about to start his lap. FST Jack here on a lap. It looks like he's back. It looks like he's backed out of it. Right, let's see how. Right, let's see who's actually on a lap. Is Chris Chi on a lap here? I would assume so, but with all that traffic, probably not. As looks like Gabs has done into 16th for their first banker. It looks like Chris Chi here has he backed out of his lap? Yeah, he's backed out. Finn is backed out. He's probably gonna start again. Legion or Legend. He's definitely not on a lap. You're in the pits. Lewis Morgan has left the session. Oh dear. That's not good. Well, good job he has me added on Steam, so he should be able to just rejoin a session. That's the one thing with having me as the comms on PC. So if people on Steam leave the session, they can just rejoin off me. As Polio Mac goes even quicker. Still only in the 0.2s, but he has improved his pole time, and he's now just over a 10th and a half ahead. We're going to go on. Oh, come on, Sam. Are we starting a lap? Yeah, so come on. Are we starting a lap, Sam? Yeah, we're starting a lap. All right, we'll go right on board here with the young American here. Sam Lewis has a very aggressive race style from what I've seen in the past. So I hope to see that aggressive style again in the race. Obviously, he's not serving a quali ban. Because obviously, last time I saw him race was back in Silverstone in AVC. His very aggressive race style, very aggressive and clean, race style, got him a podium in the end in that race. So we'll have to see what he can do today for Alert, as they are currently P6 years, as it looks like both HLR drivers have gone second and third respectively, but neither of them into the 0.2s, as the young American is swinging his car through the middle sector here, getting a little bit on the grass on the apex there of turn 9, as he's perfectly around turn 10. Now back to the floor round for Active Arizona number 1, and he's half a 10th down so far. I mean, it's just casually flicking in. Looks like he got on the gravel again a little bit. Oh, he's messed it up and thing. Lewis, Morgan, you should be able to just join off me on Steam. You should be able to just join off of me on Steam, because the session is on friends only, and so you should be able to join off of me. You should be able to anyway. If you can't rejoin off me, I'll thing. But like, you should be able to. It's a friends only session, so people should be able to join. There you go. I say it's either join off on my Steam or ping Robbie for an invite. So Sam Lewis bailed out is lapping into the bin. That's a shame. Hey! Next round again. You silly sausage. Oh, that's the second mistake Nick has made, so that is a shame. That's this lap in the bin. How much wing damage does he have? He's missing an end plate. He is missing the end plate, so he'll have to come into the bin. As we got Gio Baroni out on the track, currently P8 with a 9.5. Obviously, qualifying is not everything you can recover in the race. I have seen drivers done it before. I've seen a few people come from pretty much the back of the grid to somehow fluke wins and podiums. Sam Lewis has done it before. Back in Silverstone, he took a quali ban, so he's pretty much dead last and somehow jinxed his way to P3. Zadix last week did it for Titan Esports in last week in the assists. He qualified P16 and fluked his way up to P1 due to other people's incidents and just having better race strategy than everyone else. And I've seen it happen in a few other leagues as well, where people have qualified like down in 18th and somehow, like say, fluked podium. So qualifying is only about 20% realistically of your result, because obviously you can just lead from start to finish. I've seen that happen last week from Alex Lamas in Canada for Valaris. So anything can happen. Anyway, Gio Barone, are you you're 2/10 up. This would see you up into P4 if you can hold that 2/10. Will he hold that 2/10 coming around turn 13 and 14 here? Ooh, very close to losing it there on the exit of 13, but coming around the last corner of 14, full throttle up to the line. How much of an improvement will it be? It's 2.5 and up to P2 for Gio Barone. As it looks like Finn Luke also improved up to P11. Gabza is improved up to P9. As we've got Sam Lewis here out on a lap. Young American, let's see what he can do in his first sector. How much is he up? No, he's actually bailed out of his lap. With him weaving now, he's actually bailed out of the lap. So he's doing a double out lap. Looks like Rexy is as well. Revrob finally done a lap. Oh, as we're just going through the grid, Srirachi's round, but did improve to get into the 9s. So that'll be Srirachi's qualifying done. Revrob will have might have another chance if they can get round enough to save battery. I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say it. There's still about a minute left of the session, correct? Probably. Don't know. Yeah, as we got Polymac currently on pole, starting a new lap. We've got Sam Lewis here starting his lap. So we'll have to see what he can do as there's people. It's hard to keep track of people. We've got 52 seconds left of this. Oh, that's Gabsa just off and in the wall. Oh dear. And where is that? That's on the exit of... That's on the entry to turn 9. The place I said that can actually take you out. So Gabsa has felt first right what that corner can do. So that is a pretty deadly corner. So every other driver, that's your lesson. Watch out for that corner. As it looks like Raf and Legion improved. But it looks like Jack's also improved up to his teammate. Polly is not on a good lap, and they're not going to get to the line quick enough. As looks like Friedrich is able to start another lap, and I think he's going for it again. Look, I think same with Chris Chi here, I think as well. He's also going for another run. Sam Lewis coming out the last corner. The young American currently P9 up to the line. What's it going to be? It's P2. He's splitting the FSTs right now. What a lap there from Sam. As a Callum retiring on track. Alright then, IRT is going to be in trouble. But he's up to P9. As checkered flag has fallen, as Polio and Sam Lewis have been shown it. Jack's into lap, Baron's in the pit, Raf not on a lap. Legend is on a lap here. I think I'm saying this wrong anyway. He's currently P6, up to line, goes pole with a 109.127. Can anyone deny him? We got Rexy on a lap here. Will he be able to deny? Nope, nowhere near. And Raf is not even on a lap. So that is it then for qualifying. So Legion then for Valaris getting pole then. So Valaris on top, then FST with Polymac, and then Sam Lewis for All Elite Racing. Then and now we just wait for oh dear, that's bad time to leave the session, Rev Rob. That is a bad time to leave the session. Robbie, getting back in before we start the race. Or he won't be able to change his thing. But anyway, there we go then. Through the grid here. As Legion at the top with a 109.127. And then Polymac. Then Sam Lewis, Jack, Gio Barone. Then Raphael. And then Finn, Chris Chi, Callum Gabser, Paco, Rack, Finn, Nick, Christoph, Wessel, Sorochi, Rev Rob, Morgan Lewis, and then last but not least with the quali ban is Paulos. So we'll now move into the main race, and we'll give drivers roughly about 2 minutes to finalize their setups and stuff. Oh, that is a shame for Rev Rob. He's not going to be able to get in a session to change his setup. Oof. That does Succarino. Ready up at XX. Right, so now we give teams a couple of minutes to finalize their setups, their race strategies, their fuel consumption, and whatever else they need to do. So while we just wait for that, we'll bring on the points one last time so you can see them. So Valaris at the top, 115 points ahead of QDR. Obviously, it's not impossible for QDR to catch them, but it would just need QDR to claim literally almost every single points from now towards the end of the season. And it will also need Valaris to have disappointing races from now until the end. But realistically, this is Valaris' championship, and it's basically now a fight between QDR, AMS, FST, and All Elite Racing, and probably WRL as well, and possibly IRT as well for that second place. It is pretty much a six-team fight for those points. So we'll have to see what happens in the next coming weeks. Obviously as well, All Elite has it all to do today with one of their drivers pretty much at the front and the other one at the back. So we'll take away this as we now just wait patiently for these drivers to get ready. And here we go then. Lights are on. 4, 5. 5 lights are on. And lights are on. Away we go for round 7 and here of the AVC Championships. And it looks like it's a good way for Legion getting away off the start. As it looks like Gio Barone is trying to challenge Jack for P4. As they are still side by side coming around turn number 2 there. And he's on the inside as Gio of the banking, up the inside there of Jack. Contact between the two of them, but it looks like Gio's going to get ahead. And now looks like Raf's going to try and get ahead as well, and will do for QDR. as there was a flying Gabs at the back, as they're all trying to peacefully, as, oh, hello, an IRT going slightly wide there, as they're all trying to barge past him, as it looks like here, it looks like Christoph is going to, after pole qualifying for him, he's going to try and get up the inside, but now around the outside, but now he's left the door open, as here comes Sorucci up the inside, but he's getting tagged round! The TNT driver's been tagged round, as the other QDR now is trying to get past here, Chris Chi, and Chris Chi still on his inside, contact made between the two of them, but it looks like, oh, more contact made between the two, but looks like the Alpine is going to get ahead and into P7, which is very good for them. They need the Alpines, which is QDR, needs to try and get up the field as far as possible. So, but it looks like Sorucci's. Oh, who's that going deep? That is Chris Chi going very deep at turn 1. But luckily he's not lost the place. We've got yellow flags at the first corner. It looks like a few people have spun round as both AMSs are just losing places there. Like, what has happened there? It's just like Christoph has been spun around, and those guys have all lost DRS. Oh, not DRS, the slipstream mode to the rest of the field. And it looks like Finn Lucas also, Nick are just barely outside it. Paul Loss is trying to catch back up as Christoph's getting back past Wessel. As us as well, Gio Barone has actually lost the 1 second to the front three. The front three are gone, so that's Legion, Polymac, and Sam Lewis are pretty much, well, did gap Gio, but Gio's caught back up, but he's taking a little bit of a detour over the freaking thing. So, but he's now dropped off the front three, which is now pretty much a three-way fight between Valaris, FST, and All Elite Racing, as Raphael is just going ahead of Gio Barone and up into P4. And we'll try to catch up the front three, but I don't think he's going to do it, as we've got both AMSs into the pits. Oh dear, this is really bad for AMS. Bad dirty offers, both of them having wing damage, and both of them clearly not communicating with each other. Both have no front wings. So that does suck for the team, as it looks like Nick is now the next person to go flying off. He's gone flying off at, what is that, at the exit of turn 7? So that's not good for him. As I'm already expecting, we've not even been 3 laps into the race, I'm expecting at least 4 or 5 tickets. Eh, God, Stuart's work's never done, is it? And it looks like the top 3 here have pretty much gotten away from Raf. Raf has also broken away from Gio Barone here, so Gio here clearly struggling right now, because he's just lost a full second to Raphael. Raphael's got past him and he's just gone. Like, even Jack is struggling, as it looks like Morgan Lewis here is fighting with Callum over P13, trying to get ahead of the IRT, fight away the pair of them. As it looks like as well, Polos has gotten away from these guys, so he's trying to catch up. He wants to try and pick up as many points as possible for All Elite Racing. Here we go, we've got Polymac here going for the lead up the inside of turn 9. You don't see that many overtakes there. Looks like Legend was going to try and go for the move, but he's going to set up the move to try and take it in towards turn 11, but nope. Does not get the move he wants to make. Obviously, if these guys fight, then it does allow Raphael to catch back up, which is probably something they do not want. As the two TNT drivers are swapping places, so it looks like Morgan may have made a mistake. So we've got here swap for the lead, as we've got Legion trying to go up the inside of turn 1 of Polymac, but he's not. No, doesn't get it. Doesn't get ahead, and just Sam Lewis just sat behind us. It's like, I'm just gonna wait and see if these guys cause an incident, and then take both of them, because it looks like it may go that way as well. It's like, ooh, these two are really squabbling over the lead here. Gonna ride on board here with the Valaris driver. As that is a bit of a weird line from Polymath. Let's see here if the last driver makes a move into turn 11 on the brakes. It is possible, but he's just slowing down. If these guys go any slower, then it looks like Raphael might just get into their battery boost. But will Legion here make a move into turn 1 for Valaris? Will they get back into lead? Go for it on the inside, on the brakes. The space has been left there by Poly. Oh, contact made though between the pair. But he's still there on the inside, but that'll be like the outside line for turn 3. But looks like he's going to have to give that place. He's got to give it up. As we got Finn Luke into the pits after 6 laps. So he's clearly not happy with those medium tire as well. What was this kind of move? I was not expecting that. Rounding outside before turn 7. Was not expecting that kind of move there from Legion around Polymath. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I'm figure saying it right. Legion. I don't know. The last driver trying to see if he can gap the 2 drivers behind us. Sam Lewis is also going to pass Polymath. But in doing so, Raphael's actually caught up to the 3 of them. So that's a 4-man train. But this is important for the QDR driver. He needs to try and be as close as humanly possible to these guys. Obviously as well. The one thing I cannot tell you guys, if this is a 1-stop or a 2-stop. I would assume this is I would assume a 1-stop this is. But a 2-stop is possible. Oh, sorry, a 2-stop is definitely probably, I don't know, I guess recommended. But you can try to do the 1-stop. As if you're doing like a 2-stop, I would say what, pit end of lap, probably end of lap 8, and then do 14 on hards. Or if you're doing a 1-stop, go to like lap 15 latest if you can. But obviously this track is mostly right turn, so the left side will get worn quite a bit. It's just the question is how much will that right side suffer? Sorry, left side suffer. As Sam Lewis here, all over the back of the Valaris driver for P1 here. As Polymath and Raphael are just a bit too far back. So will the young American here go for the move into turn 1, or is he just a little bit too far back? I think he's just a bit too far back. Yeah, he's not even going to try it. He thought about it, as it looks like here Jack's going to finally get past Gio Barone and into P5. And will now try to catch after Raphael as we get yellow flags. I would say Chris Chi is spun around again. I was like, has he pitted? Yes, he has pitted, but he's just spun on the hards. Interesting. So let's have a look now. So we're 8 laps in. What are the places? So Paulos has gained 11 places so far. Wow. Biggest winner. And obviously biggest loser right now is Chris Chi from HLR down in 17th place. Not the best for him. We've got 5 people who stopped. No, 6 people. We've got both WRL drivers pitted. We've got one of the thing drivers. We've got both AMSs pitted. It looks like Lewis Morgan is fighting with Paco. Paco on the fresh rubber. Oh, here we go. We've got some movement in the pit. So we've got the Valaris driver, Legend in Sam, Raf. Oh, it's a double stack for the Alpines. Oh, this is bad. The QDR drivers are clearly not communicating at all and double stacking their drivers. That is something they did not want to do at all. But here we go, Polymath in the lead then now with them all pitting. as Jack is now full second of Gio Brown, who's now 2 seconds ahead of Finn, who's then half a second ahead of Paulos, who's now on P5 from the back. Oh, I heard some wheel spin there for a second. Who was that? Right, will any of these guys come into the pits? Looks like Polymac is definitely going to come into the pits. So his teammate will stay out, and so does Gio Barone. And also Finn and Paulos stay out. To be fair, Paulos started on hard tyres, so did Nick. Nick also started on the hard tyres, so they won't be pitting for a while then, if they start on the hard tyre. So his hard tyres will be moving as Morgan 10 seconds has been in the pit lane, and a DNF to go on top of it. Ready? And as a leave the session. I say it won't be long here, I think, before Paulos makes a move here on Finn, but I think Finn might be coming into the pits. Let's hear Legend is trying to get ahead of IRT Nick, who's still kept ahead of Sam Lewis in the pit stop, so it looks like, oh, a bit of a wobble there from Nick, so it looks like Sam Lewis might take full advantage. Probably coming out of this corner. Nick keeping to the inside. Nick fighting this when I don't think he needs to. Christoph into the pits down the inside. Here goes Sam Lewis on Nick. Keeping it tight to the inside, and we'll get ahead. How much time now has this cost him to the Valaris driver? Not a lot. He's still within that 1 second, so he still has the purple boost. As now Nick here is being chased by Polymac and Raph. Polymac has come out still ahead of Raph, even. So Raph was not able to undercut Polymac at all there. Ooh, again, Nick looks like he just chopped across there of Polymac. As Polymac's going to go up the inside here at turn 10. And we'll get the power down a bit early ahead. Will he get ahead of the IRT driver who's trying to power back ahead as we come to turn 12. Some nice fighting here, but contact between the two, more contact. Red Bull is still on the inside, bit of a wheel spin, but it looks like Nick will keep the position for now. But that has certainly cost him time, as he's now going to try and go around the outside here of the banking. But it looks like now Nick is into the pits, so I don't know why he did that. Kind of just ruined Polymac's race, but somehow Sam Lewis has dropped out the 1 second of the Valaris driver, which ain't good. Alright, well then. So Jack here still in the lead then for FST on the medium tyre. Be interesting to see when he pits, because obviously when he does pit, I think you lose about 21 seconds here in the pits. 21, 22, I think, something like that. So probably come out behind Finn Luke in 13th when he eventually pits. But I am expecting at this point it will just be the one stop for the FST driver, as there's Paulos into the pits off his set of hards. So he's done only 13 laps on those hards before he's said that is it, I'm done. So it looks like people are opting for the two-stop strategy in this race, especially if you're only making those hards last 13 laps. So that is some good info to know. As Christie is fighting with Christoph over back, and looks like Legion on the outside of Gabsa of turn 7. Oh, a little bit of contact, but still, Gabs is still there. Obviously, Gabs is kind of free to fight this, but he hasn't pitted yet, so I don't know why he would fight this. As Sam Lewis on the inside, was on the inside, now on the outside of Callum, all the way around the outside up, turn, and as gets ahead. Oh, it's behind. Polymac is just going to try and send it up the inside there of Callum. Going to hold it around the outside. Oh! There's a little bit of contact there between Raf and Callum as Raf has just lost the rear end there. As Gio Barone is into the pits probably for his one and only stop. As here comes Sam Lewis on Gabster, but Gabster into the pits. Same with IRT Callum as well. All in for their stop. But FST Jack staying out for another lap. Right, will Polymac here try and challenge Sam Lewis or what is a net P2 on the road? Like, my advice would be do not. Like, you use Sam Lewis to catch back up to the Valaris driver while he is slowly catching Finn, who I believe has not pitted yet. Here, Finn and Jack have not pitted yet. They start on the mediums. They've done 13 laps on those mediums. No one's got any pens yet for track limit violations. I've just heard more wheel spin, unless that's an audible bug. I don't know. But these guys are rather catching Finn rather quickly. The gap last round was like at 3 seconds. It's now at 2.2. Sam was barely holding on to the 1 second of Legend, who's actually caught up somehow's caught up 6/10 in the first 2 corners, which is rather impressive. He's almost caught. Well, he's almost caught him full stop. Like there it. What's it? Right on board here with the Valaris driver, and look, like you just see in front of him that Finn is just there ahead of him. And he's within the 1 second. So Finn on those tyres is clearly struggling. Right, just the thing is, how quickly will they catch Jack? And will Jack be in at the end of this lap for their pit stop? No, stays up for another lap. As Finn is now coming into the pits, which I would assume his one and only stops is good at 20 laps on those hard tyres. Oh, Sam Lewis there with a bit of a lock-up. And so Polymac's going to take full advantage and go straight up the inside at turn number 1. As Raphael is like 2 seconds back from these guys, but then Poco and Rack are fighting over P7. As Barone and Finn Luca fighting over 8th. Gio Barone is getting ahead. As Paulos here has caught the back of the 2 of them. He is on 3-lap-old hard tyres, where Finn is on 10. And there he goes, gets 1. And will he get 2 for good measure before turn 8? Yes, he does. But Gio Barone's going to try and take that back into 9, and has done. What a good sequence of corners there from the 3 drivers. But Paul Loss is not going to be done. He's going to might try again towards turn 11. Okay, with the Sander engine, no, he was not. So he might try again into turn 1. As Jack is finally into the pits now for his probably his one and only stops. He'll do 20 laps on those hard tyres. As there's only been a moment time before Paulos gets ahead of Gio Barone. As it looks like Jack's going to come out just ahead of them. So stayed out a couple laps later than Gio Barone, has just managed to stay ahead of them. But now the Valaris driver in the lead of the race, followed by Polymaki and then Sam Lewis in third. Hopefully that will change sooner or later. And get rid of these points off the screen. I'm hearing a lot of wheel spin from drivers out of that corner. But I think that's probably just an audible glitch. The three leaders here just don't seem to be interested in fighting right now. They are slowly pulling away from Raphael behind, and then Raxi is ahead of Poco by a good gap. So QDR definitely on for some decent points today with 4th and 5th. The FST drivers are currently 2nd and 7th, so they'll probably hold a big chunk of points as well. And currently All Elite Racing is 3rd and 9th. Hopefully that will change sooner or later, because Polos will need to try and get past Gio Brown so he can try and start catching up to Jack. Looks like Polos is looking like he's going to set up the move, but just doesn't seem to want to though. You would have thought he'd gone past the driver. Can't wait to see what we do next without Vic and Pens. This is where Blake, stop getting involved in crashes then, Grumpy. But so far your drivers are doing fine. Like Sam here looks like he's set up the move. Gonna set up a move here on Polymac, because he was trying to get closer as Polymac is slowly dropping out of the 1 second of the Valaris driver. So looks like Sam Lewis may try and attempt something, maybe. I hope he does, because I don't think he wants to be sat in 3rd. I think this man will be hungry for a race victory. He's definitely got a good chance of getting one today. It's just, can these other drivers not get anything? Jack is going to win it. Yeah, from P7, yeah, I doubt that, mate. If anyone's going to win this race, it's probably going to be one of these top 3 we are watching. So it'll either be Legend, Polymac, or Sam Lewis. It could be Raphael by some outside chance if we get a late safety car. But I'm not expecting it. As Jack is getting past Poco, we've just missed that move. That is unfortunate. But Paulos needs to get a shift on. Like, if Bro wants to catch the front lot, he needs to get past Gio Barone and start bolting it so he can catch Poco. That's what he needs to do. So say, realistically, the top spot for the money is gone with Legend and Christoph getting, with Valaris being so far ahead. So it's basically a fight between QDR, All Elite Racing, FST, and then unfortunately the 2 AMS drivers who are all the way down here, as Wessel's pitted for the 2nd time in this race. So AMS doesn't look like going to get any points. WRL also has an outside chance, but currently with their drivers 7th and 10th. It's not looking so good, and Poco into the pits because we've got yellow flags. Who is around? Oh, it's Gabster's round. We've had a lot of that this race, of quite a few spinners, as Gabster looks like might have got a bit wide and onto the gravel. As the top 3 have actually not moved at all. So biggest winner right now is Paulos. He's gained 12 places in this race. And then biggest loser will be Chris Chief of HLR, losing 8 places. So, and there's your stops. Poco down to West level, done 2 stops, everybody else has done 1. But there is your tyre life, so expect the front 3 in to be in the pits very shortly for another set of tyres. I don't know why the Alpines double stacked before. They can probably double stack this time and not have a bit issue. Oh, as there we go. As I called it, Legend into the pits, same with Sam Lewis. I saw this coming, and here we are there. So now Polymac will try to see if he can overcut the Valaris driver. As obviously neither of the QDR drivers went into the pits. As Jack's got ahead of Raxi. As Finn Friedrich has got ahead of Finn Luke. The Finns fighting away. Hey, it'd be even funny if these 2 Finns were Finnish. Could make a hell of a joke out of that. So yeah, Polymac in the lead down 4.5 seconds ahead of Raf then for P2, who's then 5.5 ahead of Jack, who is then 1.5 ahead of Raxi. There's Gio Barone. Perlos is still stuck behind Gio. This will need to change soon. Obviously, the next time Perlos is into the pits will be for those medium tyres. As that is big! Polymac getting 10 for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear, dear, dear. That is big, as Raf is also into the pits for their second stop. I don't see Jack pitting again. The question is how quickly will Valaris and Sam Lewis catch him. But Sam Lewis, Finn Luke also getting 10 for speeding in the pits, and Polymac is behind the Valaris driver and Sam. So that is not good for FST. Polymac getting that 10 for speeding in the pits. Literally everyone alert wants something bad to happen is happening. And as I can see Grumpy laughing in the YouTube chat. I assume it's Grumpy that's on the All Elite Racing Series YouTube. Sorry, on the All Elite Racing channel. I'm just assuming at this point. Probably is. But anyway, back to the racing action. As Sam Lewis, but these, to be fair, Legend and Sam Lewis probably now fighting over what is P1, as Polymac is actually, somehow Polymac has dropped behind Finn Friedrich. As Raxi is into the pits, he'll drop behind these guys. Polly bottled again on the curb, he dropped it. Oh, that's what happened to the FST driver. Well, that does suck for him. And obviously that's good for All Elite Racing. They want all the other drivers around them to not get as many points as possible. Yeah, we have an FST bottle. The question is, will Polos here do a favour to Sam Lewis and try and see if he can slow down Legend so Sam Lewis can get ahead, and then will he just move out the way for his teammate? Where are we guessing Polos are going to finish from the polyban? Well, he will have to pit again. He will have to pit again at some point because he's done double hards. Right now, if he pitted where he is, he'll probably drop to where Gabza is, probably. As Perlos needs to try and do, will now kind of get out of the way of his teammate, and will now Sam Lewis will try and drag his teammate along. As Legend here is going to try and go to the inside of of Gio Baroni. Trying to make a very ambitious move. He's going to try and now dive up the inside. Oh, I thought he was going to try and dive up the inside of turn 10. So the Valaris driver here getting a bit over eager. And I've seen this happen before. If you get a bit over eager, it can lead to incidents. It happened last week as Gio Baroni gets on the gravel and gets it all wrong. And just gets in the way there of Sam Lewis. Just doing a massive favour there to Valaris, which is not what Sam Lewis wants. So Sam Lewis going to try and get past him into turn 1 as we got yellow flags in the final couple corners. As there goes Sam Lewis ahead of Gio Baroni. Well, still in the 1 second of the last driver, but now these two do have 10 laps to catch Jack ahead. I think they will do it. Well, to be fair, Legion's already caught about freaking half a second already in the first few corners. But Sam Lewis needs to get a wriggle on, but with barely any battery, it's gonna hurt him a little bit. But then again, so does Legend. He also has no battery as well. Both of them are thing with battery. But I was right about Paulos coming out behind Gabza. That I did call right, but he will be on fresh tyres. Will catch Gabza very quickly and will probably get ahead of him. As Gabza's only stopped once as well, by the way. So there's a few people that will need to pit again. As here's your tyres, as Gabza will need to be one of them. But Paulos will have to do 10 laps on those medium tyres. I don't think 10 laps would be good enough. As Legend getting fastest after the race at 1:11.467. As Sam Lewis has dropped out of 1 second, so that's kind of huge for the Valaris driver, but the Valaris driver is slowly catching as Raphael's getting past Polymac for P5. Didn't really need to make that move as Raxi getting ahead of Finn Friedrich, who's then ahead of his teammate who has the nose cone bug. We love to see the nose cone bug. So the nose cone is actually there, it's just very bugged and it's just disappeared. But it is there. As Jackie is 6.5 seconds now ahead of the Valaris driver, who's slowly trying to catch him. Sam Lewis is also going to try and catch back up to the Valaris driver, but it's just not having much luck as Paco gets fastest up on the rest of 1:11.306 on the soft tyre. So Paco's going to have to pit again. So that'll be interesting. He's also behind the AMS drivers. Legend has taken another half a second out of Jack so far. He seems to be gaining on Jack through the corners. Through the straights, he's not gaining anything. But it's just a shame that Sam Lewis is just not able to catch up. But I don't think he's going to complain with a podium though. As we've got Rafi pretty much breaking away from Polymac. So Polymac clearly not trying to catch up. He's got Raxi breaking away from the HLR boys as they're in 9th and 10th. We've got Christoph here for Valaris in 11th. Perlos has got ahead of Gabza, will now try to catch up to Christoph. He needs to try and get more points because being in P12 is not going to help his cause. Because right now it looks like with FST being in 1st and 6th, they'll probably clear those points. But Polymac with his 10 seconds, where will this drop him? This will drop him behind Christoph, so it'll drop him from 6th to 11th. So Legend is slowly catching Jack, but I don't know if he's gonna catch in time. If you had Sam Lewis with him, they could take turns leading each other to try and catch him. Like, he's gonna catch 6 seconds in about 7 laps. And his tyres are 5 laps younger than Jack's. But he's gonna try and catch roughly about 0.75 a lap, roughly. Maybe even more, actually. If we get to lap 30 and he's 6 seconds behind. He'll need more than just under a second a lap. He's caught 6 seconds so far to the FST driver. But right now there's just nobody close to each other. The only people that are close to each other right now is Callum and Raxi for P7. They're the only ones really close to each other. Then probably Sorochi and Nick for P15. I was just keeping an eye on the gap between Jack and Legend as it's slowly coming down. As Raxi here going to try and make a move on Callum. He's going to try and fit on the brakes, late on the brakes, but too much late on the brakes and judging it. Jack's on 45% tyres right now. Yeah, he'll be fine to the end of the race. So he's clearly good at saving his tyres. As Raxi here getting ahead of Callum, but Callum not quite finished yet with the QDR driver. He's going to try and keep up with him, see if he can take that place back. These guys, okay, Callum is on the one stop, and his tyres are 10 laps older than Raxi, so I don't think he'll be able to keep up for much longer. Because his tyres are just dead. As Raf is very close here to Gio Barone, as Gio's only done a one stop here. They're on 16 lap old tyres. But looks like Raf here might be able to get ahead of Gio Barone, as that we've got 5 laps to go. So 6 laps to go, and the gap between Legend and Jack is 5.5. GG to Jack. Lyco was insane on his first stint and still is. Thank you, Tom Designs. That's good to know. As looks like Rafi is going to try and catch the VMV driver to try and think. As we've got yellow flags at turn 1. There's a few cars being involved there. It looks like Gabs are spinning around again. It looks like Nick and Finn Luca and Sorochi are all fighting over 13th now. So one mistake. So Gabs, that's the second mistake Gabs has made in this race. As the two AMS boys are fighting, having a little bit of fun with each other. Down in 17th and 18th. As we've got Poco 5 seconds of drift to those two. As Rafi is literally pushing Gio through as Gabs spinning again. But it looks like Gio Barone has just let Rafa through. But might come back at them with the battery and slipstream. Maybe. No, he's not going to come back past. He's just going to stick behind. So Raphael into P4 then. As the gap now between Legion and Jack is coming down to 5.1. We've got 5 laps to go. Legion needs to try and catch just over a second a lap to have a chance of possibly attacking Jack on the final lap if he wants a chance to, but I don't think he's going to get close enough. I think this is Jack's race to win here at this point. Where's Perlos right now? Oh, he is behind Finn Friedrich here. He's going to try and brave it up the inside, turn 9 on the inside of the HLR driver and gets ahead. No, he's going to try now all the way around the outside of turn 10. Still side by side, the two drivers there. Oh, a bit of contact, but looks like Perlos is going to get the power down earlier and will get into P10. And is now with... he's now got to try and catch up to Callum and Chris Chi. Obviously, Perlos will gain a free position when Polymac drops behind these guys. Like I said, I believe he'll drop behind... Ooh, not quite. Perlos needs to try and gain more time to take Polymac. He's barely holding on to the 10 seconds. By 0.2 of a second he's got it. Well, 0.1 of a second. So he needs to try and catch back up. He needs to try his hardest to catch Callum, and then use Callum to slingshot and further up the field. Like, I say P8 is definitely on the cards for Perlos, but he can possibly get P8 if he can go fast enough to catch Callum and Chris Chi. But I think catching Chris Chi is going to be out of the question. Catching Callum, though, not so much, as he's almost within the 1 second. He's all... But the thing is, though, he is pulling Finn Friedrich with him, same with Christoph. So if he gets a P8, that's still a big chunk of points though for All Elite Racing, as Polymac is going to drop further down the order. But with Polymac dropping down to what is probably about P11, it's going to put Raxi up to P6, and will then... Nikita will get 4th and 6th, which is big points for them, which is going to help them in the championship. Christoph's not going to gain much, as Gabs... Oh, I didn't even know Gabs is pitted again. He's got ahead of Poco. They also been slowly caught. We're on lap 34 of 36. The gap between the two leaders is down to 4.2. So yeah, no, Legion's not gonna get it. But Perlos has caught up to Callum, as Gabs will get faster for the race, so 110.935. Perlos is really catching here of Callum. Callum has only stopped once in this race, where Perlos has stopped twice. So, race leader starting on the second to last lap as Paco has pitted again, so has now been lapped by the leaders. Will Polos try and make it into turn 1? I don't think he's quite close enough, so we'll have to try and take it on the last lap. The bigger question is, though, is he still within 10 seconds of Polymac? Yes, he is. He's almost under 9 seconds, so yeah, he's definitely going to get that. Jack is near 70%, so may punch her to be found in the last lap at this rate. Possibly, yeah. The only pens Tom designs is the 2 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, it would be. Punch on the last lap. You know, I'm going to leave this one on the... Leave this one up. This is gap to race leaders. Here goes Polymac. Sorry, not Polymac. Freaking Polos all the way around the outside again on turn 10. This time on Callum instead of Finn. But he's still on the inside. But Callum is still there. He's going to try and hold it on the inside. So he's going to go all the way around the outside, but then he'll have the inside line for the next corner. But it does not matter, as Chris Chi picks up 3 seconds for track limits. Oh, this could be a chance for Perlos. If Perlos can catch 1.8 seconds in this last lap, he could possibly take out P8 for the pen. But I don't think as well as Callum's going to try and go around the outside here at turn 1. But is not going to get it. But these guys are just going to continue fighting towards the line. As Perlos is in ahead of these three. Looks like Callum is going to try and come back at him. As I see now, looks like here we're going to go on board with the race leader. Was not expecting a one-stop to win the race, but Jack has silenced me on that. So here he comes across the line with the one-stop to take the win here in the Netherlands, as Legion will get P2 for Valaris. Sam Lewis will cross line P3 to take the last pointing spot for Alert for All Elite Racing, and here goes Raf for QDR. Then Gio Barone, as we get yellow flags for one of the Aston Martins. And then here comes Polymac being caught by Raxi. Obviously Polymac will get that 10-second pen. Here comes Chris Chi, goes into P7th. As we now wait for these guys to come across the line. Perlos will get ahead, and so will Callum in the end. But Polymac will stay ahead of Christoph. Then it's Frederick. Then Sarucci. Finn Luca will cross the line, but he'll get an extra 10. And now we just wait for the rest of the field to cross the line, as Paco has already been lapped. So here comes Rev, Rob and Wessel. Both got involved in incidents on lap 1. So that does suit for those two. So that means they're 15th or 16th. So Rev Rob takes the last point. Gabs are crashing over the line understandable. He's had a bad day at the office. Nick has got a puncher. Oh yes, he's got a front left puncher. Nick has a front left puncher that he's brought over the line. Alright, can we... Alright, for 2027, for the 2027 game, can we actually have when the tires pop, it actually fully delaminate and the tire just like lets go completely, just leaves the rim? Please. I want that little fix. I want that fix. But anyway. Here we then, final results then. Jack for FST wins the race from 4th on the grid. Legion for Valaris led for most of it, but the 2-stop he could not catch Jack at all. Then Sam Lewis will claim 3rd place for All Elite Racing. And then double high points here for QDR with Raf ahead of Rexy 4th and 6th respectively, and with Gio Baroni in the middle of them. Chris Chi for HLR in 7th, then Fleur Perlos with the quali ban from last on the grid up to P8 with the 2-stop. Then Callum started very finished. Polymac with the 10 seconds, he drops down to P10. Then it's Christoph, Finn Frederick, Chief TTN, and then Finn Luker, Rev Rob, Wessel, Gabser, Nick, Paco, and the only DNF being Luke Morgan. And then fastest lap of the race goes to Gabser with a 0.935. So some good points there for all teams. Obviously, there will be I'm expecting some kind of pens going the way of a couple teams, so that could change the overall standings. But for me, from today, that is it for the NA race today. And I will see you tomorrow, 6 PM UK, for the assist race, also at the Netherlands. So if teams have not got their lineup submitted, they should get those in. But anyway, that is it from me, the Piney Penguin, and I will see you tomorrow at 6 PM for assists. Cheerio.